What's going on? My name is Eric D. Seals, and on this episode, I'm going to be going through a new project here at DigiFay called You Don't Know Shy, a new TV show we're working on with historian Dilla.
Yo, what's up? It's your favorite neighborhood historian Dilla. Today we're going to be filming and checking out the very awesome Logan Square neighborhood.
Originally, this show was going to be on a different network, and that's how we got connected, because everybody wants to know, how did you all get connected for the show? And originally we didn't know each other, but we had both worked with this network, and we were all working together to put this new show together called You Don't Know Shy that he conceptualized and built and designed and came up with. And we were going to be the production company for it. When we do projects here at DigiFay, we look at it from a couple different ways. We ask ourselves, does it fulfill our soul? Does it fulfill our pocketbook? Or does it raise our notoriety or people knowing what type of work that we do? And for once, this was going to fill all three, because the network was about to put money behind it. Working with Dilla and this network, people were going to know who we were, and doing content about Chicago, especially with a Black historian, we were sold. We were 100% in. We were working on it for a few months, and essentially the deal did not get signed and it did not get completed or worked out. While I had thought everything was signed off and ready to go, there were a couple of different things on their contract that they ended up not agreeing on. The first thing I had to do was communicate with everybody to figure out what was going on. And so I talked to Dilla, I talked to the network. It really seemed like there was no bad blood, but the project just didn't work out with that full partnership. But I had talked to Dilla, and he still wanted to do the show. And I talked to the network, and they're like, once we work out some logistics, we wouldn't have a problem if you worked on the show without us. We want to work on it together, but it seems like that's not going to work. And because of that, you all can go and do your separate thing. And that was important for me, because I had worked with this team, this network, on several different projects, and I didn't want to burn a bridge. But because of the relationship I had and because of the conversation, they were okay with it, and we decided to continue to make the show. But now we're not attached to any team, and we're making it independently. And so that made it a lot harder, because before there was money into the project, and now we're coming out of pocket to make this happen. But it also gave us some freedom that we didn't have before when it comes to how the show was going to be produced.
Chicago, do we have an east side of the city?
I don't know, I ain't never seen it on the map. Right now, we probably in the south, but southeast, I'm finna point to it for you. Straight that way toward the lake.
The goal right off the bat was, let's make a proof of concept. Let's make a pilot of a couple of episodes so we can show people what this looks like. And that's exactly what we did with the 4 episodes that we created. We decided to finance it ourselves, from DigiFay and Dilla, putting our money together to make this show come to life, because we believed in it so much that we had to show people what it looks like, because just explaining it wasn't getting it across. The original team that I was going to go with looks completely different than what we ended up going with, mostly because of money. Originally, we were going to have 2 camera operators, me directing, an audio person, a PA, a producer, a researcher, and a still photographer. That got reduced down to myself, Donnie as director and still photographer, and then we either had Darren or Jason, cam ops here in Chicago on the project, and that's how we got a lot of it done. So the name of the show is called You Don't Know Shy.
Living in Chicago, God is in your favor. I'ma hold it down like call me an anchor.
And the focus is to highlight historical things, current things that are in Chicago that a lot of people don't know about. And so the way that we want to do that was by highlighting different people. And so we have Rhyme Fest on the episode, we have Mike Moreno on the episode, we have Thomas Lennon, and then we have former Mayor Lori Lightfoot. And if you look at who these individuals are, they look different, they sound different, they have different experiences, they have different fan bases, they have different parts of the city that they're experts on. And that's the thing that we love most about who we chose. It was a very curated list of who we wanted to highlight on these first 4 episodes. I wanted it to feel like we were actually hanging out with our subjects, with our guests. And the only way you can do that is by time. You need time with people. If you only get an hour with a person, you're not going to be able to establish a rapport. The script and the outline was there, but it was loose. And that's one of the things I like about how we produce content is here at DigiFade, we come with a hardcore plan, but that hardcore plan is built with flexibility. And so we know we want to show up at RhymFest at this house. We know these are the different things that we want them to hit in their conversation, but how we get from A to B and B to Z is flexible. And if you allow it to be flexible, it seems more authentic and more real. And so instead of trying to curate these stiff, stale, unrealistic conversations where people are standing a certain way and they're not having a true conversation, we wanted that to be real. And the only way you can do that is by allowing people to hang out.
Change the ISO. No, not there. You're not listening. That's okay. Since you don't know how to change the ISO, you might as well subscribe to the page and support because you have a lot to learn. So figure something out.
So the South Shore neighborhood, like all of Chicago, was originally inhabited by indigenous Native Americans, and then after white settlement happened here in Chicago, the neighborhood was inhabited by folks from Ireland and Italy and other countries in Europe.
Having a large crew is nice. You have everybody to do these different positions, but you can't move as fast. And that's one of the things I appreciate about having a small team. We can move very efficiently and very quickly because we don't have as many people trying to figure out where their car is and where they're going to park and how many people can fit in this car. It allowed us also to not be as intimidating, not only to the neighborhood or the place that we're filming and interrupting the natural life that's going on there. The way that we film, it's a full filming day, so it's 10 hours. And what we usually like to do is film without the guests there and without Dilla there in the first half of the day. Because as filmmakers, we need the space to explore the neighborhood and get shots that we think are good. After we do B-roll, we have Dilla show up, or our host, so that we can knock out all the things that he needs to do just by himself. The opening and closing we'll do at the beginning, we'll do some riffs in the middle, and this allows us to then now just focus on the host. And working with Dilla and working with anybody who's good at delivering makes your job 10 times easier. We already know that his delivery is really good, and so if we allow him to be himself when he's giving the opening and closing, though he may not always say the perfect thing, the energy will always be there. So then after we finish with Dilla, we have our guests come, so now we can focus exclusively on the guests. And that'll usually be a walk and talk, that'll be a monument, or that'll be a location that we're filming at. And then we usually end at a place where we're eating. For our eating scenes, I like for our host and our guests to talk before the food arrives. And then that segment or the episode ends with them getting their food, because I don't want to see people eat. It's nothing that I ever want to show, but it's a good way to end the show. And so it gives us the opportunity to get some real authentic conversation. And so each one of our episodes, we have them ending with eating. One of the things that I pride ourselves in is a lot of the times after someone films with us, they feel very comfortable and they want to hang out. I think that's one of the great things about working with Dilla is he is chill. Exudes that where the person next to him or the person he's talking to starts to relax as well. Something about Dilla just allows everybody around him to just be chill, just be cool. Everybody has their process of how they put stuff together. Now, if you don't know Dilla, definitely go check him out. He has made great content on TikTok and Instagram, historical videos, giving knowledge, giving people information about the city and beyond. And his creative process was himself, his camera and his microphone, and how he recorded the content. And so with this process, working with a different team, it's a little bit different. And so one of the things that always interests me when working with someone new is how is our processes going to come together? The process of us creating an episode is Dilla will come up with an idea. He'll connect that idea with a guest. He'll reach out to the guest because he's got everybody's phone number in his phone. And then we connect the idea of the guest to a pre-production phone call. And in that pre-production phone call, Dilla will talk out the whole entire episode. And he's not thinking about scenes and moments and, let's connect this dot to this dot. He is just laying out his creative ideas and the person and how we connect everything. And then Donnie, who is one of the directors of the show as well, takes that and builds an outline with it. And the key thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that our field scenes are connected to our studio scenes. So if you watch the show, the studio scenes represent what Dilla was doing previously in his TikTok videos. He's talking directly to camera, he's got graphics on the screen, and he's giving you a lesson. But those need to connect with our in-field scenes. You'll notice the field always connects to the studio segment, and that studio segment then leads us to the next section in the field. It allows the episode to stay fresh because we're not just in the field the whole entire time, because sometimes that can get stale, and it gives us a different visual look. We also have, small nuggets in the show that we're excited about because, one thing that we always notice is Chicago people talk about two different things. They talk about what high school you went to, and they talk about what street they're from. And so whenever we move to a different scene, we try to show a top-down shot of the streets, the major intersection of where we're gonna be. So that's some of the behind-the-scenes content of the new show we're working on here, You Don't Know Shy with Dilla. Check out his page for more information, and for me, subscribe if you want to see more content like this so I know you're out there. Till next time.
Hi, I'm Eric Shields. I'm the tape man. Cameraman!